Alright guys, welcome to the video review for Titan's Return, Titan class Trypticon, the giant robot. This is clearly not the giant robot. I figured we'd kick this off. We'll do a little review of Full Tilt here. Then we'll move over to the table and we'll do the rest of the whole Dinosaur City thing. You do get the instruction sheet and a bio card in here, in the bag, as well as a sticker sheet. Oh, a sticker sheet. 158 stickers. We'll talk more about those a little later. 2 of them go on Full Tilt. The other 156 right here on this guy. Anyway, Full Tilt him. So there's the 2 stickers I was talking about. 1 and 2. Here's Full Tilt. He's got a little gun up here that can plug into the top. It also becomes his handgun in robot mode. Now, he's the little car that attaches to Trypticon's chest, much like Scamper came with Metroplex and things like that back in the old days. Whereas Scamper was more of a Legends class figure. Full Tilt's a full-on, more or less deluxe class Titan Master. He's kind of a very, very purple car. You can see he's got some silver paint here, and these 2 silver stickers. And like these little triangles right here might be painted. It looks like they're a slightly different purple than that around it. But and then the black tires. Not a, oh yeah, there is a different purple, and that little piece is painted as well. So yeah. This whole piece opens up, and inside is Necro, his little headmaster. Got a black head, purple body, red visor, silver stripe. So yeah, cool little dude. It actually kind of looks like the old Full Tilt. Vaguely, I remember looking in the comics. When I think of Trypticon, I think of, I think it was issue 27, maybe 17. I think it was 27 of the old G1 Marvel comic where Trypticon was menacing some scientists in the woods, and the Dinobots fought him, and that's why Grimlock ended up being the Autobot leader, and Exile Blaster and Goldbug. Anyway, so open those up, flip those around, and then close these back up with these panels folding down to the back, which gives him his lower legs and his knees and his really non-existently posable feet. Fold up this little crotch piece like that, so it's not just hanging down there. Pull the arms out and down like this. Put his fists out like that. And then this whole assembly folds around and down onto his back like that. And once that's done, you take Necro, fold him in half, plug him in up here. Come on. Well, plug into your spot. This is not usually this difficult. There we go. And give him his weapon. And there is Full Tilt. He's got the Titan Master ball joint at the head, which is just barely in frame, so let's take care of that. So let's see if we can't maybe get him a little more in detail here. Yeah, ball joint at the shoulder, as well as the hinge, the transformation hinge here. Bicep swivel, hinge elbow to about 90 degrees. No wrist swivel, aside from the flip out part of the hinge. No waist swivel, which is kind of unfortunate because it doesn't look like there's anything really preventing such. I guess maybe the Titan Master port prevented that, but if I could have made a peg down anyway. But he does have swivel hips forward and back, as well as side to side. Thigh swivel, hinge knee, again to about 90 degrees. So he's pretty decently posable. And like I said, he's not... He seems to be a little on the smaller side for a deluxe, but honestly, really, maybe not. It may just be that he's more simply doesn't have like wings or any like other kibble coming off of him to make him look a little larger than he really is. Here he is with Legends Class Sea Spray. And another purple dude, the Legends Class Shockwave. Just to give you an idea about how big he is. So he's clearly larger than a Legends Class figure. So yeah. There's Full Tilt. We'll flip him back into car mode. We'll head over to the table, and we'll get to the big guy himself. And once we come over here to the full city mode, you can see this is the same table that I shot the Terminus Giganticus review on. So you can see, like, even in the city mode, he's pretty massive here. He doesn't weigh as much as Terminus. He's got like a lot more hollow parts in him. Like all of this is all hollow and everything. But you can see much larger. Now Full Tilt, now that we've got him in vehicle mode again, has a couple different ways to interact with the city. One, he does have this little ramp. You can launch him off the ramp and off the table if you don't catch him, so do be aware of that. But so you can roll down this little ramp that flips out. You can also lift this up here as like a little garage, this little front part here, and he can kind of tuck him in there and park him there, and he can sit there in both spaceship mode and city mode. So he can store there. And finally, like the way he does still attach to the chest of Trypticon, which is up here. You see the gun here, we'll get to in a minute. Put this down. And basically there's a little panel. Twist this a little bit. Again, you get a longer side shot of this. And again, the stickers. Everything on here that is not gray, teal, translucent teal, or purple, or like the toes and this light gray piece. Everything shiny you see on this is a sticker. All this little detail. There's 158 stickers, and it's kind of it took me like I think 3.5-4 hours to sticker them up the other night. But anyway, you come up here, and Full Tilt, this purple piece up here, you flip this little piece down, and there's a little peg here, and Full Tilt kind of sits in there, and then that locks him into place. So you can store him like that on the robot mode chest, and this piece can also, with or without Full Tilt, rotate up to become a tower here. There's a spot here that looks like it's shaped for a faction logo, for a Decepticon sticker, which, of all the stickers they put in there, they didn't give you an extra Decepticon symbol to stick there. They both went on the sides of his head, so whatever. This door up here, which opens for his stomach in robot mode, it came a little warped. I can get it to lock into place, but that's a little bit of a thing, although I don't know if that was because it was in a very hot truck in 100-degree weather the day it was delivered. Like, the box was hot. Even when I opened up the box, got to the internal box, and even got to Trypticon, he was warm to the touch. So it could have been that did it. But, yeah, a really nice city mode. You can angle these towers here. On either side, these extend up like that. And he does have his dinosaur head kind of sticking out the back here. But, you know, the case of City Transformers. From the back, he looks a little silly. Actually, from the back, he almost kind of looks like, hide the head a little bit, he almost kind of looks like the Nemesis or his ship mode from the War for Cybertron games. If you look at this is the front with the wings kind of angling back. But anyway, but there he is in his base mode. There's a couple little entryways over here. You can have little characters running around. Some ramps down here. The ends of his hips that fold out to form the extensions here on either side of the city mode have a connection tab that you can connect to base mode for like Soundwave or Blaster or any of the leader class figures that have the base modes. The attachment is an attachment on both ends of his legs there. And of course the legs have all the articulation they had before, so if you want to have these splayed out straight to the side or angle them a little bit further forward, you have those options in there. And from here we can turn them into a spaceship. It's not a huge difference here. Fold these pieces down like that. Flip this up so the gun's facing forward. Flip up these ramps. Actually, I forgot to flip this one down. But flip these ramps. All this stuff in here is a sticker. Well, this silver is not, but everything up here is a sticker. Flip those ramps up. Flip out these little wing fins here. Fold the Full Tilt assembly down. Bring the guns forward. And then it's just a matter of folding up the legs. So, bring these down. Fold this up here. Just little tabs lock them together. And you just kind of bring these straight forward and tie them over here. And there's a little tab on the foot like this, and there's a tab here on the foot that tabs into the side of the body. Like that. So bring that forward, do the same on this side. Fold the leg in half. Make sure to get it all the way up, because there's some leg holes not lined up. Bring the leg forward. Tab it in here. This is the side of the body. You can angle those up or point them straight forward. Same with the gun here. Again, you can put full tilt in the front. But there you have his spaceship mode. Spaceship. But it actually kind of does look, I mean, the wings look a little minuscule, but it looks like a semi-decent spaceship. You know, like if you look at this as the canopy, clearly it's a much larger than just somebody sitting in there. Although I guess a transformer could sit in there with full tilt. Although there's no way to access. That's kind of where he sits under here, but there's no way to. This doesn't open up right here. This opens up. Actually, no, this doesn't open up. This just kind of lifts up. So it's translucent and hollow, but not really usable space. I do like the fact, and I pointed this out on Twitter, and I never noticed this before. Somebody was saying that the original had this as well, but he does actually have an orange plastic, translucent orange plastic here. So it kind of looks like he's actually got a dinosaur head at the front of the ship. Had not caught that before, but I don't know if I ever owned a G1 Trypticon. I certainly played with one a couple of times, but and I've had a G1 Omega Supreme. I've never owned a G1 Trypticon. And then on to his dinosaur mode. Go ahead and just kind of flatten that up. Collapse these guns. Pray this doesn't pop open. I've got a whole bunch of little headmasters in here. But basically flip these fins up. This whole assembly folds up. And unpack the foot from the side here. And fold this up. Now I gotta fold these up like that. Now I found there's a button here to release the side piece. There's a little catch here. And you can, sometimes if you're lucky, you can get this to snap into place by pushing it right here on both sides of this gray piece. And it'll lock into place fairly well. If you're having trouble having that happen, you can always hold this button as you push it in and then just let go of it, and it should lock into place. And same on this side. Tap the foot. Fold it up. There you go, hear it click. And you see his legs there. Now the legs actually come out on an assembly. You do have to attach it. When you first get this, these come, they just slide on. There's a little rail system there. But then you pull them out on this hinge all the way down and snap them into place right there. Same on this side. And you do have to, I found it helps to push this to release them going up. And now you've got this thing. Fold the arm panels down and around and tab them into place on the side. Just like that. We'll take this whole assembly with the head, pull his head up, and snap it here. Because it does kind of lock everything into place there. And then you can rotate this whole assembly around so his head faces forward. You can fold these down to either side on his back. You can flip them forward. We'll show that off. You stand them up. Oh, no. Don't spill yet. Just stand them up. Open up the feet. Just support himself here. Bring his arms down and around. Oh. Doing a weird little splay-legged pose. We'll fix that, don't worry. You'll hear those hip ratchets. I haven't had any trouble with mine. Somebody was talking about how they tended to shred themselves. Okay, well there went all the headmasters. Oh well. So, that gimmick kind of revealed itself a little early. Got about 30 Titan Masters here in his stomach. And you can actually hold more than that if you use both of them. We'll get more into that gimmick in a minute. But so that's the thing. I'm not the only one who's complained about that door being warped. Mine at least stays closed most of the time, but it does come loose fairly easily. Which we were going to get to more naturally than that, but I guess that's the price you pay. Open his claws. And there he is in his fairly giant dinosaur mode. He's not super huge. He's not as big height-wise as some of the other Titan Titan class guys, but he is pretty hefty. Like I said, his head turns. You can open his mouth. And you can take Necro. Hopefully, it's on his chest. You take Necro out of here when he's in robot mode. Turn him into a head, and there's a slot right back here on the back of his head where there's a post in here for a Titan Master. You can activate it without doing this. We push that in, and now he becomes a push button to pop open his nose gun, which is kind of cool. But yeah, you can open his mouth, head ratchets. If you pull these forward, you can rotate this assembly for some head turn. Otherwise, they'll get in the way of his back spines there, but you can rotate this a little bit. Although like I said, the whole assembly does move with it. But you can bring these forward, over the shoulder if you want, or just leave them folded down like that. He's got a swivel hinge in both directions at the shoulder, hinged elbows, hinged wrists, no swivel, but a hinged wrist. I guess a swivel with the panel there. And then these claws are all one piece on a hinge, and then the lower claws on a hinge. The hips, which ratchet here, front to back, side to side, a little bit of outward movement. You can see his tail just came up. You can lift his tail up like that if you wish. Don't know why you won't do that again. Full tilt's going to fall off again. I don't know why he's not staying on. He's locked in pretty well, but anyway. Knees. And then his toes have a little bit of tilt. His feet have a little bit of a ratchet there. But they only stay flat as you go out. They don't rotate the other way out. Put him back on here one more time. Behave, young man. There. I don't know why you're coming loose. So, there he is. He's big, and I actually went back and got him out. Here he is with Metroplex, and he actually looks pretty decent with Metroplex. Oh, hey, and he's actually all the way in frame. I thought I was going to have to raise this up a little bit. So, again, not quite eye to eye, but he definitely looks like he's the size of that if Metroplex got into a fight with him. It's not something he's just going to be like, oh, hey, I'll shrug you off. Would have been nice if he were scaled a little bit taller to kind of fight Metroplex, but it's not a horrible discrepancy between the two. Put him there. And we'll bring out, since he's still hiding here under my review table because I have no other place to put him, Terminus Giganticus, so you can get an idea of how he scales with other Titans. See, he's slightly taller than Metroplex, both at the top of the head and the top of the wings on Omega and the guns on Metroplex. So he's about even with Titan Fort Max, roughly, to give you an idea. And of course, as you saw, all of these Titan Masters fall out of his stomach. Let's come a little closer here. He does have the Titan eating gimmick. And basically all that is a hole in his mouth. This gun does not move. It's just molded in there. Painted though, so that's nice. But he's got a hole right here in his gullet, and you can just take little Titan Master dudes and just chuck them in there. They go into his stomach. Open this up. stomach opens up. Let's see if we can. Hey, actually, we're going to lift his tail up so you can see into his stomach. He's got 2 chambers in his stomach here. You can see they're divided here. There's no connection between these 2. So you can, if you want, throw a whole bunch of Titan Masters in there like he's digesting them, but you can't get it. You have to open this to get them in there. They don't go in through the mouth. But when you drop one into the mouth, it does fall into this top chamber. So with the door closed, you can fill that up. I posted a picture where I had 32 and they were starting to come up out of his mouth. I kind of went down and stirred them up a little bit, let them settle a little bit more. I've had as many as 46, and that is with them coming kind of up into his mouth. In just the top chamber and up here alone. So if you use that bottom chamber, he might actually fit all 67 of the ones that were listed on that Comic-Con poster, which is insane. But like I said, I've got about 29 or 30 here. And you can see we can just start dumping them down his gullet. Just eating them all up. This isn't even all the Titan Masters. There's a few that I left on their respective figures. Whoops. Now they're starting to fill up. They can either stick down there and give them a little shake, or just kind of shake them so they show you can fit a few more in there. All of those are now, you can see there's, open your mouth like mental patient taking pills here. They're not sticking out of his gullet. They're all down in his chest compartment now. So, yeah. He can store all of those. And again, you can put some more down here. It's a silly gimmick, but I think I'm going to leave all my Titan Masters in there for a while. The only problem is, again, because that door, without this attached, it's a little bit more solid because it doesn't have the weight of this kind of tugging on it. But it came slightly warped, so it was like twisted just a little bit. And it does like to pop open, as you saw earlier, and spill all the Titan Masters. So maybe those will go back on their respective figures, but who knows. But yeah, he's big, he's mean, he's a Titan-eating machine. Sorry for that horrible rhyme. But he's fun. There are things I wish were better about him. Like I said, there's a few things that I wish pegged together a little better. I certainly wish that door, because like I said, I am not the only one who has been reporting issues with that chest door. And it would have been nice if there were maybe a little bit more of a sturdier locking mechanism for it, because it's just kind of friction tabbed in there. And it's not even a tab, it's just there's like a couple little bumps on the side of the door that kind of lock it into place. There's no locking mechanism for sure, for real on it. So for sure, I don't know what I'm saying. But like I said, he's a big dinosaur. That's got something going for him. I kind of dig his spaceship mode. His city mode is big and reminiscent of his original self. 150 is what I think he's going for. If you like putting on stickers, you'll get a kick out of that, because like I said, everything on here, the shiny piece running from between his knee and his thigh, the stickers here, everything down the sides here, everything down the back that's shiny and purple, not purple because of the wheels, but it's shiny and all this stuff. It's all stickers, all little stickers that you have to put on yourself. And like I said, it took me a long time. I did kind of have a good time doing it when all was said and done. But yeah, look at it. Being one of the bigger figures, he'll probably glow on clearance. Who knows, you might be seeing these for like $25 or whatever it was the Fort Maxes were going for recently, $40 or whatever. At that price, I wouldn't hesitate to pick him up. He is big and fun. And I've heard reports of the hips shredding themselves. I have had no issues with my hips. I have not modified them. I haven't felt anything inside there that felt like they were damaging themselves. They've worked. They are a little looser, and maybe this is not a batch that had the issue. I don't know. But that's another thing to be aware of. There is apparently a single run with it. There's a stamp number. I haven't looked it up, but I've been reading just a few minutes ago. I was reading that apparently there is a specific run that has some hip issues, but mine has not had any so far. So maybe it's I'm not super worried about it. He's big, he's fun. I don't know if he's necessarily a $150 impulse buy, but if you've been wanting a Trypticon for a while, again, he's another big, giant robot who has gotten an upgrade that used to walk and does not walk on its own, which is a little sad. But I do like his Titan eating gimmick, and he's a dinosaur. He's got that going for him. So yeah, worth picking up if you see him, especially if you got a coupon or any sort of clearance deal. I'd pick him up full price. Make sure you want it. I wouldn't just be like, hey, I found one. Do I want this? Well, let's buy him and find out. If you're not sure if you want him, like, I don't know that I'd spend $150 for him right off the bat. But I dig him well enough.